you get it? Is it on?
Hello there, and welcome to a wonderful episode of Taking Over the World with Ed and Aaron. What's up, buddy?
What's up? That was an aggressive ba-boom.
It was very aggressive. You
Okay.
know, because there's a lot of things going on in the world right now.
Okay. Well, do it. Well, listen, let's not keep the people waiting. Do tell, sir. What is on your mind?
Well, my first thing on my mind is you having to go to the doctor.
That was not what I was thinking where you were going with this. I don't have to go to the doctor. It's probably just
It's just
a
an
good
infection.
idea.
It's just an infection, right? It'll go away in 5 days.
You get a penicillin shot. You get some, just rub some dirt on it.
There
It's
you
fine. Yeah, blood pressure's a little high. It's got its ebbs and flows. It's going. I've been trying to eat healthier, do the walking thing, take some stuff, but I think I'm naturally just strung high, and it's I've been watching it for a while. And
I don't think you're strung as high as you think you are. You're a little more laid back than I am.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I come off as laid back on the outside, and on the inside, I'm just harnessing it all, and that's what's boiling
You're
the blood.
harnessing it all?
Yeah.
Were you a transformer harnessing the energy?
Gee, could you imagine if I was a transformer? That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Save on gas.
Transform into a baseball bat?
No, transform into a car, go home. I turn into a bicicleta.
Bicicleta.
A bicicleta. And take my butt on home.
So what's been going on, buddy?
Listen, just living the dream. Lots of.
So football started again.
Yeah, I did.
So ASU.
Hey, Sun Devil Nation,
They
alive
rocked
and strong. Listen, we tried to give it away, but we're hanging on to a 2-0
The
season
U
start.
did
The
their
U is
thing.
back. Is the U back?
I'm thinking.
Are
it
we
might
back
be.
to like Dennis Erickson, the U, like back in the day?
Oh, come
like,
on, not Dennis Erickson. We're talking about Jimmy Johnson, the U.
Oh, Dennis Erickson. Listen, this is where we get to be on the same team. Dennis Erickson, the U, and also Sun Devil.
Yeah, but Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson was kind of the jam.
He was the GOAT. He was the GOAT at UM. He's the one that had the criminals, the convicts.
Dennis Erickson wasn't far away, I don't think.
No, but it wasn't the same passion.
So now you go full circle. You got all this stuff intertwined. Okay, we started with that football, Jimmy Johnson. I'm going straight into the Cowboys game, and now where Jimmy Johnson was. How about Dak getting paid?
I'm all for people getting paid, dude.
I'm all for people getting paid too, but I'm also about like if you're gonna get paid, you need to win. I don't think he's gonna win.
Tell that to Deshaun.
Also a good point. Which begs the question. I mean, like, at what point do we just say that this is ridiculous?
I've been saying it for years.
I mean, getting $250 million guaranteed, getting an $80 million,
$230 million guaranteed.
$230 million. Listen, it's like the Heat. Once you get over 100, it doesn't really matter. And if NFL's saying once you're over 200, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Bottom line is an astronomical number. $80 million signing bonus is what I saw.
Yeah.
I mean,
If they offered it to me, I just turned it down.
I'd be like, no, man, give it to the people. That's what I would say.
No, you wouldn't.
I said, man, it's cool, man. Spread it amongst the people. That's the kind of guy that I am.
Really?
I'm all about the people.
All about the people.
I guess we'll never find out. I mean, we could. Hey, if you want to offer me up $80 million and see what I do with it, I'll spread the love.
My signing bonus is the Gulfstream.
Yeah.
Go take care of that for me.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Jalen Ramsey got paid. Your boy down in Miami got paid.
Oh, Miami paid a bunch of people. They paid Tyreek. They paid.
They're going to have to pay Tyreek's speeding ticket before no long.
Let's not talk about that one.
Yikes.
That's a touchy subject.
Okay.
That's a touchy subject.
I'm just saying, he got a speeding ticket.
He did get a speeding ticket. But there's a lot of good stuff going on in the world right now.
Okay, so we're a week in. We go just completely after week one. Who wins it all? Miami. Wow.
That's the biggest homer pick ever.
Who's the worst team in the NFL after week one?
Giants.
The Giants are so
Well,
bad.
I don't know. It's a tie. Giants and Panthers.
Panthers are bad. But I feel like the Panthers have hope because they got Bryce Young. Didn't they get Bryce Young? No,
They got Bryce Young.
They got
but
Bryce Young.
They ain't no hope.
There's no hope there.
No.
I didn't get to watch any of their games.
No, there's not.
Hey,
There's
but
not.
one thing we can't agree on: the tank of the week. Maybe we need a tank of the week.
Oh, we could do
Maybe
that.
hey, listen, don't get us wrong. We're not cheering actively against people. This is a fantasy world that we're living in. Like, we have no say on any NFL.
Right.
We're jealous of all of them. If I could play in the NFL, I'd be playing in the NFL, but there's just not a market for guys like me in
Right.
that division. However, I was pretty excited to see Caleb Williams tank. I mean, we've been talking about this guy for a while.
Well, for a year. We talked
And
about it all last year in college.
and I get it. He's probably a good person. Hey, Caleb, listen. If you want to come on and have a conversation, you're more than welcome. Come on down. We'll zoom you in. We'll have this conversation. We'll set it straight. But from an outsider,
Right.
it started when he started sitting out games and this and that. I like whatever.
And
And
throw little temper tantrums.
yeah, bro. Then to watch him come out and throw for 93 yards. I mean, hey, they got the win, so good for Bears fans. But a little bit of me was like, sucker. Felt good.
Yes, it did. Your boy Jaden Daniels did well. He's not
He
your
did.
boy.
He's not my boy. He's not my boy. I mean, listen, he's an Arizona State guy, so
And
gotta
your
give
other
him some
guy got
props up,
paid.
but who got
Brandon
paid?
Ayuk.
Oh, Ayuk cashed in. He's.
He got
I
paid.
mean,
But
however,
that's what I have a bone to pick, right? So
okay.
these guys like Chase, Jamar
Okay.
Chase now,
Okay.
right? You have time left on your contract,
Yeah.
and you choose to hold in, is what they're calling it now. Now there's a new term. It's not a holdout.
Because
it's a hold in.
he showed up.
Because
and
you
he's-
show up, you just don't do anything,
Okay.
right? So Ayuk did the same thing. Trent Williams did the same thing. Like, you had all these athletes that are making millions of dollars, right? What would happen to you if a client called you and said, "Hey, I want you to help me buy a house," and you say, "Hold on, we agreed that I was going to work for you for X, but now, because I'm feeling frisky today, I want to work for Y." Like, what would your client tell you?
I would think a smart client would probably tell me to pound sand.
Pound sand. Right? So these guys hold the NFL and the teams hostage with that. They just say, "Oh no, I don't want to get paid. I want to get paid. I have 2 years left on my contract."
Hey, listen, I'm all in on this. I'm all in on this because I couldn't agree more. I think you signed a contract. Now I get it. There's rookie like minimums, and maybe there's a negotiation there. Maybe they need to shrink those to see or something. But like once you start to like sign, was Ayuka still on a rookie deal?
I think so.
Okay, so maybe they need to shrink him or something.
No, but Ayuk was his. He had 1 year left on his contract. I think when he I think. Because he offered a trade, but then even that, right? He didn't want to leave San Francisco,
Right?
Because he didn't want to. He didn't want to agree to the terms of the Patriots, and the Patriots need help in every position, and they were like, "Yeah, dude, you know what? You're asking too much. You're being a little diva. Deuces. I don't want anything to do with you."
I just think the problem occurs. It can't be a one-way street. It's like if we're going to entertain this world where a player or a real estate agent or a banker or whatever it is can be like, "Hey, listen, I'd like to renegotiate my wages because I'm outperforming. You hired me to buy you a house. I bought you the dream house. I crushed it. And the guy before you, I crushed it with him. So I need you to now pay me on like my year's performance, right? Like I'm having a great year. I need you to pay me based on that, right? To your point, now it's like if we're gonna say in a world where we say, "Hey, got it, Aaron. You know what? You're crushing it. I've looked at your stat line. You're 7 for 7 already. Like, hey, you're doing great. I'll agree to pay you more." Okay, so what happens next year when you're 0 for 7? Or what happens in that next season when that player doesn't perform? Okay, so now we've opened the door to be like, okay, well, as the general manager, I'm gonna come and be like, "Hey, listen, I think we're
You're not
good
performing
at,
to
yeah,
your-
yeah. I know what we agreed to, but just kind of like you, we're gonna hold in. We're gonna not pay you that, and that's where I think the contracts get silly. Because then what's the player gonna be like? Fine, you still got to pay me. There's gonna have to be some pay, obviously, for the contract
Because there's a guarantee.
because there's a guarantee, and like
Right.
now that these guys didn't see, that's what changed over these last handful of years. Like this guarantee started creeping up,
Right.
and I get it. You want the best players, but it's now like I feel like a lot of these teams are being handcuffed by The players would be like, hey, you want me to play for you? This is what it's going to cost. Like, I get it, but you can't always just do it at the top of your game. Like, you got to, I would love to see, yeah, some higher bases for some individuals because at the end of the day, they are with who they are. But maybe it's a percentage of like merchandise sales. Maybe it's performance based. Like, hey, listen, if you're bringing in more money to that, I get it. But let's kind of see how it goes, like on a, you know, commission style or a percentage fee or whatever it is, like hey, you get Tom Brady, you sell the most jerseys out there. We'll give you 4%. I don't even know how astronomical that number would be, good or bad. Like
Right.
5% of jersey sales, and you help, like if you throw XYZ touchdowns, you get $1 million. Like, I don't know, man. I'd like to still see a little bit more performance based. Most people are their jobs, they're performance based. You do well, you get money. You don't, see you
Yeah, but
later.
I
But
feel
like we
that you
can't
get.
fire
But
them.
I feel that you get money based on, like, if you have a job, right? You get paid to do your job,
Right.
and if you do well when your review comes up, whatever the term of that review is, you'll get compensated accordingly. You
Sure.
can't. I don't think you can go in the middle and be like, "Hey, hold on.
Agreed.
You paid me. You agreed to pay me X amount of dollars, but I think I'm a little better than that right now. So you're gonna have to pay me for that." Because then what is it? Because my whole thing is it you are that much better, or are you getting better coaching? Are you getting better nutrition?
Maybe,
Are
yeah,
you
better
getting are
teams
you getting
around
better? Are
you,
you getting
something. Yeah.
better people? Are you getting like now a staff that's helping you? Like what's because a lot of players attribute a lot of their stuff to the training staff at that level. So if you're getting all this other treatment, so hey, do we start compensating them for that?
Well, and I think to your point, okay, that's why I think you have the validity to ask for more money. If you are establishing a team, you're taking care of your body. Let's say on the side, we'll just say Ayuk, right? Like he's been working hard. He's been not outside of training camp
Right.
stuff. He's got a private chef, a blah 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 trainer, this that, right? And he's putting in that outside work, and now he's like, and look at my performance. So when my review does come up, when it's time to sign a new
When
contract,
it's time to sign
I'd
it.
like to be compensated for the value that I bring. That's where I feel like it's no different from when you start talking about real estate, right? You have an individual agent and you say, boom, individual agent A is here, and then the Ogre Network walks in, right? You and I went on a listing appointment together the other day,
Yep.
and we kind of, I don't know. I felt like we talked about that like experience for like an hour. Like we were
Yeah, it
both
was cool.
excited. It was
Yeah.
fun. It was energetic. Not only was it like good for us, but like we were able to take our value and the value to the client and lift it up there. We outplayed that agent.
Right.
If there was a single one, the two of us together, our team outplayed him. Plus, we came with the personal trainer, the chef, and all that. With the social media, the team admins, the
Right.
transaction coordinators, the other agents on our side. Like so, we came in with a whole group and a
All in.
team
Right.
and said, listen, this is our value. We're at negotiating time. Here's what we bring.
Right.
Right. And whereas another agent, a single agent, is not going to have that luxury. So that's where I do think you can agree to pay them more because our value, in my opinion, is worth more than what most single agents can bring. So I do think he has the merit to be like, hey, yeah, listen, I have done really well for you. But to your point, like, your contract is still for another year. Like, we
Wait
shouldn't
for
be
it to
able to,
expire.
yeah. And maybe, hey, listen, maybe it's the owner's fault. Maybe it's like, hey, the players are in the right. Maybe the owner should stop giving out 10, 13-year contracts or whatever. Like maybe they should only be 2-year
No,
contracts,
they're
1-year
five. They're
contract.
4 or 5 year contracts.
But still, that's in for some of these positions, that's 50% of their career or more.
Well, it depends. Depends on who they are.
If you're Aaron Rodgers, like you're just getting started. If you're
Aaron
Tom
Rodgers.
Brady, you're just getting started. But like you look at some of these
Speaking of
running
Tom
backs,
Brady.
you're screwed.
Speaking of Tom Brady, hearing him on the announcing a
I
game.
didn't catch it. I heard he was pretty good though.
He, he,
I heard he was really good at keeping the focus off him and onto like the actual professionalism of the game.
right, but it was weird.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to him, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't. I guess it would be this. It was the same when you first heard Troy Aikman or
Yeah.
Romo do it. That you're like, this doesn't. It's not normal. But it was weird. But it was good. But no, but I definitely agree with you. Now,
Oh.
what about the Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? What
Jerry
about 'em?
Jones waiting till an hour before kickoff to sign Dak to a long-term deal.
It's just a Jerry Jones thing to do. I feel like. I mean, I feel like listen, like
He could have got. I mean, obviously, if he signed CeeDee Lamb and he signed Dak, he knew what it was going to take.
he knew.
So why didn't he do it at the beginning and just stop the drama? Because what did we talk about all off season?
Ego.
The Cowboys. And we talked about the
Hey,
Cowboys
man,
all off
smart.
season.
Yeah, smart play. He
So-
wanted to stay relevant, staying in the media.
So, but what's more important to him? Is it winning a title, or is it being your ego and being in there?
I don't know. I think it's a combination of both because I think it's winning. That's why. I mean, I think part of it is winning. That's why he signed him. He felt that of the quarterbacks out there, the relationship that they have with Dak, like they can win. Obviously, it's yet to be seen, and they've had some pretty good offensive lines, some pretty good weapons, and so I don't. Listen, I'm no football guru, but I mean, you shell out that kind of money to only two players, that takes a pretty big cap hit. So they got a debt, but I think he also waited to do it on his timeline because he wants everybody to know this is the Jerry Jones show. Like, even though Dak got paid, even though CD Lamb got paid, who are we talking about? Jerry Jones.
Exactly.
Jerry Jones still wants everybody to know, hey, listen, this is the Jerry Jones show.
Yep.
I
So
like it,
now going to our regular program.
No, to the regular scheduled maintenance part of the section. What do we got today?
Real estate. So we're showing some commercial properties,
Yeah.
and you have some commercial buyers
Graham.
looking for.
I feel like commercials. So somebody was actually asking me that yesterday. It's actually my HVAC guy.
HVAC guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
HVAC
nice.
guy. You know, it's funny because, I always, obviously my truck is wrapped. And so whenever I have like some type of professional come over to do something, then they'll always ask me like, oh, like how is the market? How's your business? I'm like, I'll start to tell him. And he asked me this question, which I'll ask you, is that, what do you think is the better, I shouldn't say better market, but what market tends to be busier right now? Commercial or residential?
So right now,
Yeah.
in our world, I would say commercial's busier.
I kind of feel like that too.
And I think that it has to do with businesses expanding, businesses growing. We still live in a state that's very business friendly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No state tax.
Right.
So, and I think there's incentives that they're giving out to businesses to have them come in and
Well, I
open businesses.
I agree.
Plus, you have people that are coming out of California now
Mm-hmm. A
and
lot.
taking their money and reinvesting it in Vegas.
Right.
Because California is way too expensive,
Yeah.
and people are afraid, with the new tenant rules and stuff's going on over there, that people are like, oh, you know what? I'll put my money somewhere where it's a little easier.
Do you think any part of it has, because this is what I started thinking about later, do you think any part of it has like a COVID effect, right? Because when we saw the COVID effect happen, where a lot of companies were realizing they didn't need brick and mortar anymore. Because they're like, we can do this Zoom, we can do this remotely, we can have employees work from home. And now that we're kind of getting past that, do you think there's any lull in productivity or lull in like the experience of having an office building where we get people in there? Because you and I talk about all the time. When you come to the real estate office, at least in our office, there's two options. You get caught up in all the BS and you waste half the day talking to people about BS and nothing that matters. Or you get in there and you start to feed off one another. The energy picks up. You're on the phones a little bit more. You're like cranking and moving, and like business breeds business. Do you think there's that reverse COVID effect now falling since so many businesses left brick and mortar? Now, 3-4 years later, they're starting to maybe have some extra money again. They're moving here. Like, hey, listen, if we get a place, we can save money by going to Vegas, and we can get a building, and it brings everybody into one spot. We have like a hub again. Do you think there's any of that going on?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I've had this conversation with people.
Oh, have you?
So there's a lack of productivity
Okay.
for people working at home.
I
A lack of productivity, lack of accountability.
for sure.
And I think there's a lot of companies where you still have people that are like, oh, COVID's going to hit again or whatever.
Right.
Um, you could be on that camp, or you could be on the camp of just, hey, at some point we need to continue to just put this behind us and grow our businesses and grow our and take care of clients. But yes, I think a lot of it has to do because the problem is I think that working at home for a lot of people, right? And I'll preface it with saying with me, like, right. So if I go home, like this morning, for instance, I was a little under the weather this morning. I just wasn't feeling right, and Mercy was like, "Hey, why don't you just work from home?" And I said, "Because if I work from home, I'm really not going to work from home." Because I don't. I get wrapped up in ESPN. I get wrapped up on the
Oh,
stuff.
dude, I'm going out. I'm having
Yeah.
snacks and I'm taking a nap.
Exactly.
That's
Like that-
happening.
Yeah,
That
like,
is
like-
happening.
Like a nap is inevitable.
I'm sitting there, snacks, and then I'm like, oh, I'm super productive. I'm looking at my phone. Honk, boom, face, broken nose. iPhone to the nose.
I don't know about broken nose, but definitely going to sleep. So I think that some of those things have changed how we look at things. And I think companies are starting to say, hey, you know what? We're time to get our productivity back up.
Interesting.
Right? So, and try to get everything back to normal. And what is normal? Like nowadays, what is normal anymore?
Yeah,
Like we don't even know what normal is anymore.
I would totally agree.
Some of us believe that, hey, I'm going to work, and things have changed, right? So I've been fortunate, right? I'll use myself as an example. I was fortunate that when my daughter played basketball in high school, I was able to be at every single game,
Right.
be at whatever I wanted to, take the girls to games when they didn't have a school bus, because they were a small charter school. Like I was able to participate. I knew all the parents. I knew everybody there. Like I was fortunate I was able to do that. But it didn't stop me from coming into the office every day.
Right.
And I think some people now you have, and I think social media's done a lot with that, dude. Because there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm working from home, and they're all over TikTok or whatever, like poolside. Like, are you getting paid to be poolside, getting a tan while you're working?
You might not be renegotiating your contract early if you are.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe you are. I mean,
but
you
are
can
you
definitely close the deal from a pool, but
like as a client in real estate, right? Are you comfortable with your real estate agent being at home chilling with the kids and not that there's anything wrong with that, but is that what you're looking for? Because I know that like my investors don't. Like my investors, if I don't talk to them every other day, even if we have nothing going on, they're like, "Hey, sunshine, you haven't talked to me in a couple of days. What's going on?" They just want to know what's going on.
Right.
Like anything new, anything new coming to the market, anything you like. Do you have your ear to the ground? Like I showed commercial properties Wednesday of last week and Friday, and I got a call today saying, "Hey, I think we're gonna pivot on what our original idea was, and we're gonna do something else. Can we schedule showings for Thursday on this new pivot that we have?" And I think that that's what people want, right? People want agents and people want people working for them that are really working for them. That they're not sitting at home watching Aaron Judge go for yard on everybody, watch Shohei go yard on everybody, watch Pete. Is it Pete or Paul? The pitcher.
Skeens?
Skeens.
Paulie
Paul.
Skeens?
Paulie Skeens, go out there and watch him strike out 9 in a row. I'm like,
They're all there to watch Livy Dunn. We know.
I'm watching him pitch.
Listen, if there is a job, though, that you can sit home and watch those guys all play baseball and sports all day, I'd like to do that.
It is. It's called being in sports networking.
Oh, maybe I should try that. That'd be fun.
That would be a good job for me.
Yeah, that would. That'd be a good job for a lot of people.
But I don't think anybody would hire me to do
Yeah,
that.
that's a problem. That's a problem. Well, and I think that's the thing too, is that like, I think real estate in general, you get that bad rap because I had this conversation with somebody I was just talking to, is that you have a lot of bad agents, right? You have some really good agents here in town. Like there's no doubt about it. But you have some really bad ones too. And the bad ones, it's not that they're home watching TV. It's just that that's just how they go about the entire transaction, which is lazy, not detail oriented. They let things skip and go through. Like, you can still conduct business from your house. Like, does it have that same feel? Probably not. But like, also, like, to your point, like, as a client, do I want to know, like, if I'm in the middle of buying a $800,000 home, do I want to know, like, my agent is at the office making sure everything is going, like, have they checked with title today? Is there anything we need to know about? Are the inspection reports back? Or, like, is the prelim back? Like, I want to know that they're in the office kind of handling those things, where I think if you're posting from the pool or posting from your couch, their buyer might not come out and say it, but there's probably a little part of this like, the pool, huh? Margaritas, huh? I'm supposed to close in like 4 days. Like, I haven't heard, like, to your point, like, I haven't heard from you in a week. Are we good? Because you seem to be good, and I'm kind of getting nervous about, it's a high anxiety moment, closing on a new house, this and that. Like, so I could see how the perception of that could absolutely rub people the wrong way. Now, we want them to understand our personalities and who we are and what we do, but I think there's a right and wrong time to go about doing all that.
I think you're absolutely right. And I think that some of the things that we look for, right? Because we look for it ourselves, is when I'm talking to other agents, I'm looking for agents that are like dedicated to this, and they want to they want to have a positive impact. Because truth be told, for most people, they'll buy a house or two in their lifetime, and it's going to be their biggest investment.
Oh, for sure.
Like, that's going to be the biggest thing they ever do.
Right.
And for some people, they'll buy one this week, one next week, one week after. I mean, they just keep buying. They don't. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They don't care. So that's a little different wheelhouse. But what is it that I think pushes the people is, what is your motivation? Why do people need houses? Why do people want to buy houses? So if somebody came to you and said, hey, I want to buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the top 3 reasons you would recommend buying a house. What would they be?
What would I tell them right now?
Yeah. What are the top 3 reasons you would tell somebody that there's a great, that now, whether it's now or when interest rates are super low, it doesn't really matter what the interest rate, take interest rates out of the equation. What are the top 3 reasons I should buy a house?
I mean, I think the number one right off the bat is the financial point of view.
Okay.
I mean, real estate always. I mean, history will show that real estate has just always appreciated.
Okay.
So you have that.
Bingo. That's the first one I would use.
Yeah, I would also say it is a great place and a great idea to have a roof over your head.
That's number 2.
That's
Always a good idea.
That's number 2.
Yeah,
And then I think it comes down to. For buying a house, it's like, how does it change your lifestyle for me? Like, right. Like, if you buy a house, if you get a job transferred to the other side of the city or somewhere else, like buying a new home to be that convenience factor of being near your place of work so that you gain time.
Right.
Right. So for me, a lot of my life is about doing things to create more time. Like, we only have a certain amount of time.
Right.
And so the ways that you can be better at time management, and, if it's cutting off a half hour of your drive every day, that adds up to, at the end of the week, half hour every day, 5 days a week, you do the math there. What, you got 2.5 hours of time you've created.
Right.
So, for me, I think it can help create time.
All right. Good.
What about you?
Mine would be appreciation, number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, having a fixed payment and not worrying about it going up every month, every year.
Okay. So, like, if you were renting or something like that?
If you rent,
Right.
you're always at somebody else's mercy.
Right.
If they decide to go up in rent.
Well, and I know in commercial, which obviously that's your area of expertise, but just from owning businesses, I know that in commercial, in my leases, there was a standard years ago, it was a standard 3% increase
That's
no matter what every year.
Still are 3%.
So it's like, like, no matter what happened, like,
but
if I don't own that.
But you know what it is.
Right.
Right? So at least you know. In residential, sometimes people say, oh, you know what, I want to rent, I don't want to buy. Okay, but you can go into a rental today, pay $1,700 a month or $1,800 a month, and then your lease is up, and they come to you 60 days before and say, hey, guess what? In the area, they're renting for $2,500, so You want to stay? That's what you're going to pay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have no control over what the landlord actually does.
Well, or trying to get you out of there, or selling on you, or I mean, obviously you have a lease in place, but I mean, there's all just
There's a
and
lot
then,
of ifs.
and this is probably the fourth thing too. You throw in the fourth thing is that when you do rentals, is that you don't, and I get it, first world problems, right? But it's the luxury of I want to paint my bedroom. I want to, knock down this wall. I want to hang this up. I want to redesign this. Like, you can do that with your own house. You can't really do that with somebody else's house that you're
No.
renting. Like most leases, you have to get permission to paint the wall.
But if we're honest, right? Let's talk honestly about it, right?
Okay.
Right? That's one of the, for some people, that is the con to being a homeowner.
Yeah, sure.
What happened to your AC?
Yeah.
I mean, the AC goes out.
Yeah.
Guess what? There's no landlord to call. You can't call the bank and be like, "Hey, U.S. Bank, I pay you my mortgage every month. Can you
We should try
fix
that. I
my?"
wonder what happened if we called them and be like, "Hey, listen, small problem. Yeah, no, I'll make the payment. That's not the issue. My payment though is AC's on the fritz. Can you guys send somebody out?" That would be hilarious. They'd be like,
They would tell you, "Go pound sand."
yeah, wrong place, wrong number to call.
So next week I'm gonna be gone.
Yeah, wait, wild scenario. You guys are wild.
Yeah. Yes, we.
Like, especially for you. I mean, listen, I'm not trying to knock plans or get like, you're a little bit of a planner.
I do like to plan things
You
out.
like to plan things out, and so when you told me about this today, I was like, oh yeah, like when is it? You're like, Saturday. I was like, oh, hilarious. Like, no, Saturday.
No, Saturday. Like, yeah, we're going on a cruise for 7 days. That was not in the books.
No.
It was every year we like to do a trip for Mercy's birthday in September, and I was gonna take her to New York because she loves to be in New York. I've taken her to Denver. I've taken her other places.
Watch out for the monks in New York.
First, I was gonna take her to Seattle to go see a Dolphin game.
Okay.
She was like, I don't want to go to Seattle. Then I was like, all right, let's go to New York. She's like, oh, we can't go to New York because Amanda wants to go to New York because there's a specific thing that she has to go see over there.
Am I the weird one that I just don't want to go to New York?
No, there's a.
I mean, I'm just like, it seems so overwhelming to me. I'm just like, it seems like a lot.
I think you get overwhelmed with anything, though. But we're not going to talk about that.
It's too much. It's too overstimulating for me. Like, too
Are
many
you worried
people.
about the monks?
Dude, the monks got you, bro. I'm not rolling out of there with a $25 bracelet, and having the monks like put on some curse on me if I don't get an extra one. Okay.
So, no, but there are people that don't like New York. So then
It's
all
not
of a
that I
sudden,
don't like it, it's just not for me.
Then all of a sudden, she decided that she found a cruise.
Okay. So with that, and this has got me curious because I've only ever been on one cruise, and it was like a little dinker cruise. I think it was like on a Duffy maybe I was just lost at sea for 2 days. I don't really know.
Okay.
But if you go on a cruise, what is what is the one thing that you're just like, the best, here's the best thing about the cruise? Like, what do you look forward to about the cruise? Oh man. I just haven't been on enough to really know.
So for us is that it's all inclusive.
That's dope.
It's dope. And for like people,
food, drinks.
I mean, it's all inclusive. So for us, I like waking up. It's going to sound really bad, but I like waking up and having a balcony view and going out on the balcony, having coffee, like overlooking the entire ocean.
That's wild scenario.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
I watched that, like the Mighty Ships on the Smithsonian Channel.
Right.
And this isn't. I'm kind of like boats are kind of. I'm better with boats than airplanes, but I'm also, part of me is like,
Here we go.
these big freaking ships. How do they float so much?
They do their
I mean,
thing.
that's a wild. The scientists and the people that came up with this stuff.
The good thing
is
is
wild.
The good thing is we're gonna go to Mexico,
Yeah, buddy.
and while I'm in Mexico, I get to see a buddy of mine who just had a baby
Okay then.
in
Now we're doing
Mazatlan. So
it.
they're gonna actually come. Him and his husband are gonna pick us up with the baby. They're gonna show us around town because we're there from 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock, I think, or 4 o'clock. And he used to work as an entertainer, as a director of entertainment on a cruise ship, so he understands
The time frame.
the time
You're
frame.
not
and
going to
how-
be the person that missed. You're going to have to connect later, like
even
two
though
cities over, dude.
even though he said, "Hey, if you miss your flight, if you miss your ship, you got a place to stay," because he runs Airbnbs over there in Mexico. So
Ooh, while you're there, should we buy one?
I don't know. I'm gonna go look at them. I'm gonna go look at the ones he has. But I'm gonna go
If
check
you
them out.
look at them, does that mean you get to write off part of your cruise because you took the
Oh,
cruise ship to get there to the
100%.
Airbnb to do some
100%.
R&D?
That's because I'm going to look at real estate over there.
Just you just took a different instead of flying there, you floated there.
It doesn't matter. It's a trip to go look at real estate.
Hey, listen, don't have to sell me on it.
Yeah, so
I'm in.
I'm hoping we can rent it off. That'd be good. But we're gonna go look at the Airbnbs because he's been wanting me to buy. He sent me information on them. In fact, one of our investors has gone over there and looked at properties over there already.
I'm in.
So I'm looking. I'm curious. And he does really well with them. That's what he no longer lives in the States. He lives in Mexico. So he's doing well.
I
And he
think
has a new baby, so we're gonna get to spend time with the baby with
get
him.
some street tacos.
Oh, I'm sure he's gonna take us to lunch there and stuff.
Game on.
And he's gonna take us to like the local spots, not the
That's what I'm talking
not
about.
the touristy spots.
Boom.
So
So
we're
you're
gonna
not
have fun.
going to Taco Bell over there?
No. We're not going to Yo quiero Taco Bell. No, we're not going there.
That's fair. That's
No.
fair.
No. So what are you gonna do next week that I'm gone, dude? You're gonna have to work.
I'm gonna have to hold the ship down.
You're gonna
I
hold it
might
down.
have to pay attention next week.
You know, but so now, so officially, before we go, you have airplanes off the board.
I mean, they're not off the board, but
now
not high on the board.
Ships are off the board too.
I'm gonna start like a top 5, and like I'll work my way down, like from.
So what's your number one best mode of transportation?
Gosh, that's a good question.
Is it Chevrolets?
No, it's not Chevrolets. I don't like to walk that much.
Is it a bicicleta?
Bicicleta, that would be sweet, man. And listen, like
Or is it a carro?
listen, I'm gonna preface this with, like, from a safety standpoint, this makes zero sense.
Right.
Okay, like rationale's out the window. So
No, we're not talking
So
rationale.
people, you guys can go ahead and comment. Let us know your top 5. Let us know that I'm not smart by judging them in this way. Like, this is not a safety ranking by any means. This is how Aaron's brain works.
Which is scary.
I would say I think like a bus, like a decked out, like a sick bus, like a John
a party
Madden
bus?
Like I'm getting John Madden or a party bus. Yep, I want to be able to like kicked up, like somebody else is driving, right? Like which
You
is still
trust
scary.
somebody else
I don't
driving?
know. It's a little, but at least I can see and I can kind of keep an eye and check in.
So definitely
You know?
no curtain covering the driver.
Only if I need to put them up and then like I have control to put them up and back.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Like I need to be able to have access to that. I need to be able to make sure the driver hasn't been
So your
sniped.
number one is bus.
I think so, dude. I think I'm going John Madden. I think I'm going John Madden.
Mine's a G5 and yours is a bus.
Yeah, dude. I could see myself, having some street tacos, maybe having a Corona, or
Traveling-
traveling on a Sunday or a Saturday would be even better, watching college football all day. Next thing you know, it's like a 10-hour drive, and they're like, hey, buddy, you're here. I'm like, what? That was great.
And you fell asleep halfway.
Yeah. Had some tacos, had a quesadilla, fell asleep watching football. Boom. I was on the couch. I was laid out. There was nobody next to me. No, I'm good. So I think that's ultimately my
bus.
way to go.
Would you wrap it?
Oh, I'd wrap it. Oh, I'd wrap the heck out of it. I'm wrapping it. I think that's 1. I think 5 is the plane. I think. See, I'm torn on trains. Trains would be interesting. Because I feel like, man, those things, I feel like I hear them jump off the tracks quite a bit, too often.
I don't remember when was the last time I heard a train jump off a track,
Oh,
dude.
bro, probably like last week.
How about the bullet trains?
The bullet train.
So you're never going to take the bullet train from here to LA?
No, I think it'd be probably pretty dope. I'm thinking,
Get you there in like 45 minutes?
I mean, boat, I feel comfortable with the boat.
How fast is that
signs
going
of
to
it
get you there in
are
45 minutes?
Oh, this is like if one train leaves the station at traveling 70 miles an hour and train B leaves the station, I don't know. I think I'm going bus number 1. I'm going John Madden party bus as number 1 mode of transportation.
That would probably be my number 5.
Wow.
Yeah, we would be inverted completely. My G5 would be number 1.
I mean, now here again, I haven't been. I mean, I'm not sure that you have either. In a G5, see, a G5 could change my mind though, because I have access to the pilot. I can see what's going on.
Well,
It's the cockpit that it's the hidden door. Like, is it like a space capsule where they can like shoot their nose off and it's got a parachute on it? And like, when the rest of us are headed for a mountain and like they're just like capsuling down into the middle of like the Pacific Ocean or something. Like,
deuces, bitches.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the fear of the unknown is what gets me. I don't think it's necessarily the plane. It's like,
Oh,
I gotta
God.
keep an eye on these guys, man.
Well, you have a good week next week, because I will.
I'll be driving my truck.
You drive your truck, I'll be on a ship somewhere in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Fair enough, buddy.